Welcome back to our guitar course. We're in week 7 here, and this is video 1. Today, we're going to work a little bit more with chords. We're going to work on how to strum chords in some more unique ways and to make our songs sound all that much more better. So, let's talk a little bit about how we're going to do this. If you're looking at your sheet today for week 7, the first thing we talk about are a new strumming pattern where we have to use down and up strokes. Until now, we've only been playing down, which means that we go from the thick strings down to the thin strings, the low strings to the high strings. And everything we've done, 1, 2, 3, 4, has always been done from top to bottom. Today, however, we are going to start doing ones that we also go up on. But first, let's learn a new type of rhythm. It has to do with how quickly the notes come, and we're going to use what we call eighth notes. And if you look at your sheet, I have eighth notes written out there, and they look like quarter notes, but then they also are connected with a bar on the stems. And that bar indicates that they're eighth notes. Eighth notes are going to be a little bit faster. Instead of doing 1 note per beat, we're actually going to do 2 notes per beat. And so the way we count this, you can see there, it says 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's how we count eighth notes. Now, I like doing rhythm, so can you try that with me? I'll count the beat, and then I want you to clap like this. Listen first. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? So you got to clap a little faster. Try to say it with me as well as clap it. So here we go. Eyes in the music. Follow along with where I wrote the beats and the ands. And here we go. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, when we play eighth notes, this is a huge step forward in our musical abilities because we have to count a little bit differently. No longer is it just 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. This is a skill we call subdividing. And what it does is it helps us to keep the beat and keep it steady and keep the tempo going throughout the song. It's something we want to do as soon as we start hearing that click off. So like when we're playing with the tracks and you hear the little click, 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 immediately, instead of just thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, you want to start thinking 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And I'll do that when we're counting off for our songs this week. And I want you to do it too in your head. It's an important step in becoming a well-rounded musician. Let's talk a little bit about strumming. I'm going to grab my pick here, because I like to use my pick when I strum. Now, a lot of times when I see students start doing a eighth note strum pattern, I all of a sudden start seeing their wrist doing this. Now, I always call this the wave, okay, because you're waving, you're going bye-bye. And we don't want that. Remember, we want to keep that wrist relaxed but straight, okay? We don't move at the wrist like this. When I strum a chord, say a G chord for example, watch what I do, okay? There's 2 parts of my body that are moving. One of them is my elbow. I'm literally going up and down, okay? So I like resting my elbow here. There are even guitars now that make a little indentation here so that it's a little more comfortable for your elbow to rest there. But that's right where I rest my elbow. And right from there, that's where I'm going up and down with, okay? And so try that. Play a G chord, and I want you to strum just going up and down. Here we go. Ready, go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and stop. Okay, good. So that's half of what we're supposed to be doing, where our arm is just going up and down from the elbow. And right now our wrists were straight. The other part of it is that we want to actually add a little flick into our wrist. So not only are we going up and down, but we're also flicking our whole forearm back and forth. See how my wrist stays straight? Okay, I'll kind of do it here. You can kind of see it a little bit better. My wrist stays the same, okay? But my whole forearm, that's from here to here, is the part that's moving, okay? And again, we don't want the wrist to move. We just want our forearm and our elbow up and down. We do the flick when we hit the strings. It gives it that nice quick strum sound instead of the harp sound. You know, it's not the harp, right? We want that nice quick sound. Right? Now you've been doing that, I think, going downwards. Every downstroke, right? Okay, but we also get to do it coming back up. Now, when we do this, we always start on a downbeat. We start with the downstroke. And so we're down, what do we have to do? We have to come up. Now, when you've been doing it with just quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, I still had to come up, right? And I don't know if you realize that, I was coming up on the and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. See how that works? So right now, all I'm doing is I'm changing my upstroke so that I still hit the strings. Okay, I mean, with the other side of the pick, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. See? Okay. Let's try that again. Let's try it on a C chord this time. You can practice this on any chord. Let's try it on C. Okay? And we're going to do the same thing where we go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And again, my wrist is staying the same. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Try that with just your arm. Okay, get that motion going. That's going to be a very helpful motion. Make sure you're not waving. Okay, so elbow ready, C chord ready. And let's try it together. Get your pick ready to strum on the G string. You ready for the downstroke? 1 and 2 and 3 and go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Stop. Good. Let's try that one more time. It's a little difficult, I know at first, but it's worth practicing. One more time. Get ready. Get ready for the downstroke. Okay. 1 and 2 and 3 and go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so I want you to take some time right now. I want you to practice that with all 4 chords that we know. So do it on G, do it on C, D, and E minor. Go for it. Great. So what you just practiced was the strumming. And you did individual chords, and I hope that went pretty well. The more you get the technique down, the more you're thinking about the technique, the better you're going to get at it, the more comfortable it's going to become. Now we're going to go on to our first song of the week, Progress Explosion Reloaded. Now it's the same song that we did a few weeks back, Progress Explosion, but it's going to sound different because we're strumming differently. Okay? Now on this song, if you notice, the rhythm of it changes a little bit. It goes 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. And so we get that feel in there, and I give you enough time to change chords. So we need to practice this now, and so we're going to start on the G, and we're going to try that pattern, and we're going to go on to the D, and then to the E minor, and then to the C. Let's try it together slowly. Ready? 1 and 2 and ready, play. 1 and 2 and 3 and change. 1 and 2 and 3 and change. 1 and 2 and 3 and change. 1 and 2 and 3. Stop. Okay? Now, if you probably had a couple different issues if you had trouble playing that with me. One might be that you had trouble changing between chords. In that case, remember how to practice? The 3-step method, right? 1, 2, 3. Get it going faster. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Until you can get that chord change and you're really, really comfortable with it. So that's one thing that might have happened. The second thing that might have happened is that you had trouble strumming the beat that we're supposed to be doing, the 1 and 2 and 3. If that's the case, here's what I would do. I would take my fingers, put them across the strings like this so that they're dead, and I would just try strumming it. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. Don't worry about the chord changes. 1 and 2 and 3. Until you get that pattern down. You have your hand twisting, your forearm twisting, and your whole forearm going up and down at the elbow. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. Now make sure your wrist is relaxed. We're not waving on this one, but if you have it tightened, it doesn't help you very much. You want to have a nice relaxed wrist. All right, go ahead and pause the video to practice either one of these things that you need to do, or both of them. Great. Now let's go on to Progress Explosion Reloaded. And you'll have to probably do this a few times, but I want you to get the chords as well as the strumming pattern. So here we go. 2, ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. Repeat. 1 and 2 and 3. 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 And 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. C. In on the G there. All right, good stuff. So practice that again. Make sure you're practicing your chord changes and your strumming technique. I'll see you back for video 2. Thanks.